Welcome to the 1985 Buick Action Library program. I'm Jim Perkins, and I'm pleased to have this opportunity to introduce what we believe is a very effective salesperson's product training program. You'll be able to benefit from it in many ways, now and throughout the model year. Your sales manager may use it to conduct a training session of your dealership's sales force as the 85 models are being introduced. And as an individual, you may want to use it on your own, in conjunction with a salesperson's study guide to help fine-tune your product knowledge and presentation techniques. And there will be many times during the model year when you'll want to refresh your memory on one car or even just one special feature. The 1985 Action Library has been programmed for all of these uses and more. And the study guide contains simple instructions on how to get the best use from these video discs and the system itself. You see, there are several important differences between this year's Action Library and those of earlier years. The past programs were produced mainly for use in the showroom with consumers. But research showed us that the greatest and most productive use of the Action Library programs was by salespeople for sales training. And so for 1985, we're giving you what you've asked for in a big way. What you'll see, we're confident, will help each of you exceed even the sales records you set in 1984. Every 1985 Buick car line is presented in a simple walk-around, very similar to the kind of presentation you may be or should be giving to your prospects. But the 8 walk-arounds on these video discs show you a lot more. First of all, each walk-around is made by a person who not only has a solid understanding of the product and of effective presentation techniques, but who could be a prospect for the car line he or she is demonstrating. Now, that's important because, as you know, qualifying is one of the most crucial skills in selling. What does this prospect want to buy is as important a question as, what can I sell this person? And maybe even more so. In fact, qualifying, finding out who the prospect is and what he or she really wants, is the real purpose of the walk-around from the point of view of selling the car. Right up front in each walk-around, you'll get additional support in the form of concise marketing information which will position the product and describe the target markets that offer fertile resources for prospecting. Presenting the marketing information for each car is Buick's good friend, Mary Denham, who has done commercials and films for us. Furthermore, throughout the walk-arounds, you'll find extra little tips on how to present features to your prospects. For example, retired traditional buyers interested in a LeSabre would probably welcome knowing that optional tungsten halogen headlights provide more than twice the illumination of regular units to make nighttime driving easier. You'll find another helpful difference at the end of each walk-around, a concise summary of product changes for 1985. This feature will be useful for quick reviews. But let me offer you a friendly tip. You know as well as I that most new car buyers these days have been out of the market for 3, 4, 5 years, or maybe more. To them, every feature on a new car, such as a LeSabre, is probably brand new. And the bottom line is, any one feature could be the one that makes a sale for you. Therefore, these walk-arounds have been produced as if every car in the 1985 lineup is brand new. And if you want to do your best, that's the way you should make your presentations. You also need to be aware that, of course, not every feature and option of every car line is presented in these walk-arounds. Naturally, you should supplement the Action Library with study of the product manual. You should also realize that as professionals, you'll want to tailor your own walk-arounds to your own style, as well as to what your prospect indicates he or she wants to hear more about. And finally, be sure to marry your best possible product presentation to a well-planned demonstration drive. They must go together to generate the results you and I both want, increased sales. In fact, it has been proven that a demo drive doubles the chance of making a sale. To add it all up, the customers expect salespeople to treat them right, to sell them a car, to know the product, to be concerned about special needs and interests. Just think how you feel when you go out to spend good money on a product you may not know much about, such as a new refrigerator or a video cassette recorder? Don't you want the salesperson to take time with you? And don't forget, as prospects gain confidence in you, their resistance to a sale is lowered. But we're very fortunate, you and I, to be working for Buick, because when people enter a Buick dealership, they bring a lot in with them. First of all, they are serious. Research shows that more than 7 out of 10 walk-ins will buy a car within 6 weeks at your dealership or elsewhere. That's sure something to think about, isn't it? The other thing they bring in with them, in many cases, is an attitude toward Buick that already has things going your way. People know that Buicks are a healthy cut above the average, that they come equipped with standard features that are options on many other makes, and that there are higher expectations for the quality of ride, comfort, and convenience in a Buick. That's what Buick stands for in the marketplace, and those are some of the ideas people bring with them into your dealership. If that's the case, all you've got to do with many prospects is to demonstrate that they're right. Now, get comfortable. Get ready for the 1985 Action Library, and get yourselves prepared for our greatest selling year ever.
The Skyhawk for 1985 is Buick's powerhouse import fighter. Its strongest appeal is to young buyers. In fact, the average age of Skyhawk buyers is the youngest for any Buick, 38. And this year, with more discretionary income than ever available, you'll have terrific opportunities to sell Skyhawks to several groups of prospects. Women. Among under 40 women, Skyhawk is the Buick that has the greatest appeal because the qualities women look for in a car have been engineered into Skyhawk. Quality, dependability, workmanship, fuel economy, and comfort. Another group is the economy-minded young buyers who want Buick style. On one hand, Skyhawk is extremely economical to operate. On the other hand, it can be personalized in a wide variety of ways to fit the buyer's needs. Now, don't forget the import-oriented buyers. They're one of Skyhawk's richest sources of conquest prospects. When these buyers shop for a car, they know what they want. And more than any other Buick, feature for feature, Skyhawk can match or even top the imports. Proof of that is the fact that in a recent survey, 15.3% of the trade-ins for Skyhawks were imports. Keep in mind that even though there haven't been many major product changes in the Skyhawk for 1985, many prospects may be considering Buick for the first time. So you must be ready to present the 1985 Skyhawk as though it were a brand new car. One final detail. Any feature we mention is standard equipment, unless we tell you otherwise. Now let's watch a Skyhawk walk-around with many helpful details you can use in your own presentation.
Hello. I'm really glad you stopped by to see the new Skyhawk, because it's wise to look at everything before you buy, especially since you told me it's going to be your first new car. I always think that shopping for a new car should be fun, too. You said you've been looking at imports and some of the other domestics, but I'm confident that once I point out Buick's features and you take the car for a good long demo drive, Buick will come out ahead. This Skyhawk Custom Coupe is a great match for the lifestyle of a single woman who likes skiing and other sports. Now, let me show you some of the features which will have special appeal to you. Skyhawk, of course, is one of Buick's new generation of front-wheel drive cars. Front-wheel drive is really great for winter driving, and front-wheel drive is the way of the future. Skyhawk is contemporary in other important aspects also. Take aerodynamics. That's what helps give Skyhawk its impressive mileage so it doesn't take much to run. This low hood and high deck give Skyhawk a slippery wedge profile, and the flush-mounted front and rear windows make it even more aerodynamic. By the way, this is a very popular new exterior color for 1985. When you buy a new car, it's nice not to meet yourself on every corner, isn't it? There are 12 exterior colors available on the Skyhawk, but some imports only have 3. These slits in the grille improve the airflow for engine cooling. These step headlights can be equipped with optional tungsten halogen lamps. They'll be terrific for those Sunday night drives back from weekends because they've got more than twice the candle power of regular sealed beam units. Now, I'm sure bumpers aren't a big thing in your life, but since this is the first car you're buying, these soft-faced bumpers are certainly worth mentioning. Notice they're integrated into the body design, and the rub strips continue completely around the body as protective moldings. I've already released the hood, which has an inside release that acts as a theft deterrent. See how easy the hood moves up and down? That's because of this gas strut, which is another standard feature in Skyhawks in place of the usual metal prop rod. Now, this black and silver Delco Freedom 2 Plus battery looks neat, and it's maintenance-free. It's something you just don't have to worry about. Now, the engines in Buicks are all neatly finished off with the wires and lines arranged precisely. And every gasoline-powered Buick has an onboard computer that regulates the air-fuel mixture and other functions. A 2-liter engine is standard on the Skyhawk Custom and Limited models. It has electronic fuel injection, and just like front-wheel drive, fuel injection is the way of the future, too. Fuel injection measures the air-fuel mixture precisely, helps in cold weather starting, and helps provide quick response and excellent fuel economy. The standard transmission on the Custom and Limited is a 4-speed manual. On the T-Type, it's a 5-speed manual with overdrive, and there's an optional automatic if you'd rather have that. Now, come around to the side and let me point out some more features. Take a look at the steel-belted radial-ply optional white wall all-season tires. Look at the tread. These all-season tires qualify as snow tires in parts of the country where snow tires are required. But there's no snow tire whine, and the really neat thing is you don't have to change tires twice a year. These power front disc brakes are standard and are equipped with retracting calipers to decrease rolling resistance even more. They also incorporate an audible wear indicator which generates a chirping sound when the brake pads need replacement. Another thing you just don't have to worry about. One of the fringe benefits of Skyhawk's front-wheel drive is McPherson strut front suspension. It helps give you a smooth ride and great road feel, which makes driving the Skyhawk a lot of fun, as you'll see. This stainless steel fixed mast antenna is preset at the precise height for optimum radio reception. It also resists corrosion and flexes when you take the car through a car wash. You know, when people spend good money on a fine car like the Skyhawk, they like to know it will keep on looking good. Well, Buick has taken a number of steps to make that happen. These standard wheel opening moldings not only look good, they help protect this part of the car, which gets a lot of wear. All 1985 Skyhawks are protected by plastisol, which is sprayed on this vulnerable lower body area before the paint and molding go on. Plastisol is tough and helps prevent damage from stone chipping. The taillights are wraparound and incorporate the rear side marker lights. And notice how the blackout panel conceals the backup lights. Let's look in the trunk. Now, unless you're one of those people who remembers to keep a flashlight with fresh batteries in the glove compartment, the trunk light is a great help when you're loading or unloading at night. The high-trim carpeting helps protect the cargo, makes the car neater, and gives it greater value. The spare tire saves cargo space that's precious in a car this size. It's easy to handle if you ever have to replace one of the regular tires temporarily. You'll probably be doing most of the driving yourself, but when your friends ride with you, it's nice to know that there are a lot of standard features in the back seat that you don't get on every car. The armrests, ashtray, and quarter windows that swing out. On the 4-door, the rear windows roll down. Now let's take a look in the front. These bucket seats are standard, and this year they're trimmed in a new fabric. Many of the interior colors are new this year, too. Both driver and front passenger seats are equipped with seat back recliners, a must for long trips, and they're standard. So are the courtesy lights, which are in all of the right places. This door-actuated dome light, and this under dash light, and glove box courtesy light. Naturally, you use seat belts. So do I. Notice they're color coordinated. This covered coin holder on top of the instrument panel is a terrific Skyhawk convenience. Now, let me show you the multi-function control lever. It places the controls you use most right at your fingertips. Turn signals, 2-speed windshield wipers, and washer, high-low headlight beam selector, and optional cruise control. There's a broad range of first-class Delco sound systems available I know you'll want to hear about. The 2000 series push-button AM model comes standard on the Skyhawk, or you can delete it and receive credit. There are optional systems all the way up to this electronically tuned radio with a cassette deck and digital clock. You can also order a graphic equalizer. Tell you what, I could stand here and talk about the Skyhawk all day, but the payoff is what it's like on the road. So let's take it for a drive, and when we get back, I'll show you the whole available Delco line, and you can make your choice. When you do your walk-around, don't forget that invitation to a demo drive with every prospect, but especially with the young people you work with on Skyhawks. They're entitled to a demo drive, and they know it. There are other Skyhawk models for '85 you want to be able to talk about. The Skyhawk wagon features front-wheel drive efficiency combined with 64.5 cubic feet of cargo space, with the rear seat folded down. It has seating for 4 passengers in addition to the driver. An optional roll-up security panel is shown here. It can easily be removed. It has a fold-down split rear seat that allows for a passenger to sit in back, as well as a 5.5-foot-long cargo space. Of course, both rear seats can be folded down to provide even more cargo space. Now let's review the important Skyhawk product changes for 1985. Many new exterior colors, many new interior colors, and some new fabrics on the custom and limited series. Standard tires are now 4th generation steel-belted all-season radial ply. A turbo boost gauge replaces the temperature gauge with the optional MFI turbocharged engine on the T-type.
That's a correct answer. Good work. Let's see what's next. Congratulations! You got that one right. Let's go on. That answer is right. You really know your stuff. Right again. You're very, very smart. You goofed. Let's go back and look at that section again. I'm sorry, that's not right. Let's review that material. That's another wrong answer. We'll go back to that section. You missed again on the same car. Please pay very close attention while I review this material for you.
The Riviera for 1985 climaxes a brilliant line of Buick personal luxury cars, founded in 1963. That year, when the first contemporary Riviera was introduced, Car and Driver magazine said, "It stands alone among American cars in providing a combination of luxury, performance, and general roadworthiness." The Riviera continues to be the consummate personal version of Buick's larger cars, the image car Buick prospects yearn for. Some few are fortunate enough to achieve it. They are your best Riviera prospects, the outstanding achievers among executives, top-flight merchants, professionals such as doctors and lawyers, and others who lease executive cars. But it's also important to realize that today, excellence and success are no longer restricted by age or sex or occupation. Indeed, there are thousands of affluent young men and women, many of whom might not consider any domestic car except the Riviera, who could become prime prospects. Don't overlook current Riviera owners as far back as 1979, who will certainly be interested in this Riviera. To tell any of these prospects anything less than the complete Riviera story, or not to offer a well-planned demonstration drive, could easily cost you your sale. One final note. Every feature you're about to hear is standard, unless otherwise specified. Now let's watch a Riviera walk-around that should give you a lot of really useful ideas.
Good evening. I appreciate your taking time from your busy schedule to stop by to see the new Riviera. I think that when you realize what the Riviera is all about, you'll feel the way many owners do, that the Riviera is an investment in your own well-being as well as in fine transportation. And I think the Riviera might be of special interest to you. The one thing you'll notice about the Riviera immediately is that it comes with an exceptional list of standard features. Of course, there are some fine options that enable you to personalize the car. But just as it stands, the Riviera offers far more standard equipment than do many others. The Riviera's value is also reflected in its traditionally high resale price. Many of the exterior colors are new this year. Notice how the grille sets off the car in an elegant way. The bumper guards, and black rub strips are all engineered to help protect your car. The optional tungsten halogen headlights are certainly worth considering because they give off more than twice the light of standard seal beam units. The cornering lights are standard. Let's take a look at the engine compartment. I've already released the inside hood lock, which acts as a theft deterrent. However, you might want to consider the optional factory-installed theft deterrent alarm system. The engine compartment is provided with an underhood light. In fact, throughout the car, there are courtesy lights wherever you would expect to have them. GM, of course, is famous for engine technology. This one is one of GM's finest, and it's the standard engine for the car. It's a 5-liter V8, and it's very dependable. The 4-speed front-wheel drive transmission is completely automatic and has an overdrive gear for additional economy. Furthermore, there's a converter clutch, which engages in 3rd and 4th gears to provide an actual mechanical linkage, which affords added efficiency. All standard, of course. By the way, power steering is standard as well. There are also several optional engines you might consider if you have special needs. The 3.8-liter turbo V6 with sequential multi-port fuel injection, and the 5.7-liter diesel V8. Let's look at some of the other exterior features and details. The tires are steel-belted, radial-ply, self-sealing white walls. And the tread is all-season, which means they qualify as snow tires in parts of the country where snow tires are required. Yet there's no snow tire whine or any need to buy snow tires and change twice a year. Power front disc brakes are standard. Riviera disc brakes have special low-drag calipers as well as an audible wear feature which makes a chirping sound when the brake pads need replacement. Did you know that Riviera has 4-wheel independent suspension? It helps provide optimum tire contact with the road because each wheel can react to bumps independently. In conjunction with the Riviera suspension, electronic automatic level control is standard. It senses the load of passengers and luggage and automatically maintains the ride height. The trunk is equipped with a light and carpeting. It's a very roomy trunk, 15.8 cubic feet. This space-saver spare tire is light and easy to use if you ever have to replace one of the regular tires temporarily. Let's move around to the driver's door. Before we look at the front passenger compartment, I'd like to point out some features here on the outside. Notice these style chrome side view mirrors. They're remote controlled on both sides. Optional electric control mirrors are the same color of the car, and when you have them as on this car, they're both controlled at the driver's armrest. The extraordinary value of the Riviera is even more apparent in its interior. This car is equipped with almost every amenity you could want in a personal luxury car. Air conditioning, power windows, electronic cruise control with resume and acceleration features. You can adjust your speed up or down 1 mile an hour at a time by touching the correct switch. It has a 6-way power driver's seat. Standard sound system is a Delco 2000 series electronically tuned AM/FM with clock. The radio may be deleted for credit. Incidentally, the automatic power antenna is standard. This tilt deluxe steering wheel is standard, and 45 seats in leather in the seating area are available. The headrests are adjustable. There are courtesy lights exactly where you would want them, on the doors, instrument panel, glove box, and front ashtray. Also standard are a headlights on indicator and chime, which also sounds to remind you of seatbelts and key left in the ignition. Many buyers decide to equip their Rivieras with optional equipment to meet the needs of their specific lifestyle. For example, this Delco GM Bose music system with an electronically tuned AM/FM stereo receiver, see and scan, clock, and Dolby speakers. It has been cited by many magazines as the very best factory-installed sound system you can buy. If you are a hi-fi buff, you'll appreciate the performance of these 4 acoustically engineered speakers, which are similar in design to those used in the famous Bose 901 speakers. 1 is on each door, and 2 are installed in the panel behind the rear seat backs. There are other fine Delco systems available as well. You can order electronic touch climate control, which you can adjust a degree of time up or down. Electronic instrumentation is available. You can even order a dealer-installed telephone in your new Riviera. It's the new cellular type. If you have the time now, I'd like very much to take you out for a demonstration drive. Or better yet, how about me bringing the car to your house tomorrow evening? That way you and your wife can drive it. She's going to love this new Riviera. There are 2 other Riviera models you'll be selling in '85. One is the convertible. Here's a quick look at the other one. The Riviera T-Type offers an added dimension of high performance to personal luxury. The first component of the Riviera T-Type package is the 3.8-liter turbocharged V6 sequential multi-port fuel injection with idle air control, mass airflow sensor, electronic wastegate control, a high-pressure fuel pump, and stainless steel exhaust manifold. This engine is one of the most sophisticated production engines in the world. The second component is the Grand Touring suspension, including special front and rear stabilizer bars and recalibrated shock absorbers. In addition, the Riviera T-Type includes styled aluminum road wheels, blackout grille, amber park and turn lenses, leather-wrapped sport steering wheel, turbo boost gauge and tachometer. Let's review the important Riviera product changes for 1985. Many new exterior colors, new deluxe steering wheel, many new interior trim colors, new optional soft leather offered in one color,